Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to create live webinar registrant on Typeform submission. So as a business and financial coach, I am conducting various webinars with the help of live webinar for my clients and different businesses. And I am taking the registrations for these webinars with the help of Typeform on my website. So my objective is that every time an interested client is going to visit my website, they are going to submit the Typeform with their details. Automatically that person should be added as a registrant in my webinar in LiveWebinar. Now, to automate this entire process, we will have to set up the connection between Typeform and LiveWebinar, and that we are going to do without any coding and programming skills, simply with the help of Pabbly Connect. So for your business, if you also want to learn this amazing automation step by step, for that you have to come towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen everyone. In this video, we are going to learn step by step that how we can automatically create live webinar registrant for Typeform submission. So as a finance coach and business consultant, I am conducting various webinars on different subjects such as personal finance, investments, etc. for my clients and different kind of businesses. And for taking the registrations of these webinars, I am using Typeform on my website. So I've created a registration form, and I want that every time the person is going to visit my website, when they will be interested to register themselves for the webinar, they are going to submit this form with their details. And according to their details, I want to create a registrant in my webinar in live webinars, as I'm managing all my webinars as well as the participants and registrants with the help of live webinar. Now, to automate this entire process, I have to set up the connection between Typeform and live webinar, and that I'm going to do without any coding and programming skills with the help of this amazing automation software, that is Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect is an amazing automation and integration software which helps us to automate all our daily repetitive tasks without the requirement of any coding and any programming skills. So this is the home page of Pabbly Connect, where we can reach by typing the URL pabbly.com/connect/INR in our browser. After coming over here, we will find two options: sign in and sign up for free. So in case if you are already an existing user, just click on sign in to log into your account. But if you are a new user, you have to click on this sign up for free button. So when you will do that, you're going to receive 100 free tasks every month to explore this amazing software and to test multiple automations according to your choice. Now, as an existing user, I'm going to click on sign in. Now, this is all app section where we can find all the products which are offered by Pabbly. To create this automation, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. So let's click on access now. Now we are on the dashboard of Pabbly Connect, where we can find all the workflows which we have created. And to save the workflows, we can also create separate folders like this. Now to create a new workflow, let's click on this create workflow option. As we have done that, a dialog box is appear in front of us, which is asking us to provide a name to this workflow. So first of all, let me provide a name over here. Create live webinar registrant on Typeform submission. After giving the name to my workflow, now I'm going to select the folder. So you can see I have a list of folders over here. Among these folders, the automation which I want to set up currently is related to managing my webinars and meetings. So for that, I'm going to select this folder which I have created specifically for all the automations related to webinars and meetings. Now I'm going to click on create, and in the similar manner, you can also create separate folders on your dashboard for different varieties of workflows to make the process of searching the workflows easily. Okay, and in the organized format, you can save them all. Now over here, we are on the new screen, and on the screen we can find a blank workflow. Basically, we have to fill up this blank workflow to completely set up our automation successfully, and it contains two extremely important windows: trigger and action. So trigger and actions are the two main concepts, the principles, or we can say these are the building blocks on which the entire automation runs. Here the trigger says when this happens, and the action says do this. That means the action is a response towards our trigger. So whatever we are going to select in our trigger is going to command the entire workflow, and the actions are going to follow that same command. Therefore, we can have only one trigger in any workflow, but we can add as many action steps as we want. Now let's suppose I want that every time I'm going to receive a new Typeform submission from the interested student or client, then automatically that person, that student or that client should be added as a registrant in my webinar inside live webinar. For that, I'm going to take Typeform and trigger and live webinar in my action step. But when we are going to set up the connection between these applications, then we will see that action is going to follow what the trigger commands. Because when the trigger happens, that means when the form will be submitted in Typeform, then only the registrant will be added in live webinar, otherwise not. So after understanding the whole concept of trigger in action, let us start creating our automation step by step. First of all, let's go towards our trigger step to start this process, and we have to select our trigger application. That will be, of course, Typeform, as we want to start our automation every time when the when the type form will be submitted. Now here we have to select the trigger event. Next, trigger event is an event on the happening of which we want to capture the response, and we want to start our workflow every time. In our case, the trigger event will be new entry, because we want that when a new entry will be made in type form, then the response should be captured and workflow should start. Now let's click on connect to build the connection between Typeform and Pabbly Connect. For building the connection, you can see that I am already logged into my Typeform account. You also have to do the same, because it is going to make the connection process simple and easier for you. We have two options to build this connection: add new connection and select existing connection. So in case if you already have an existing connection, you can just go with that. I'm going to show you how to build a new connection. For that, we'll select add new connection and we'll click on connect with Typeform. As we have done that, now Pabbly Connect is asking us for the permission to access our Typeform account, and because our data is 100% safe with Pabbly Connect, so I'm going to click on accept to provide the permission. And with this, you can see that our authorization has become successful and the connection between Typeform and Pabbly Connect is also built. So now we have to select the form which we want to connect with Pabbly Connect. So you can see I have 3 forms over here. I will take you towards Typeform, and you can see that on my workspace I have 3 forms which I have created for different kind of requirements. I have contact us form, inquiry form and the registration form. Among these forms, I have to select a specific one. So you can also have multiple forms which you have created for different requirements and needs, but you have to connect a specific form with Pabbly Connect which you want that when it will be submitted, you want to add the registrants in LiveWebinar. So for that, here I have created the registration form as I have told you, and I want to connect the registration form with Pabbly Connect. So I will select the same over here from the drop down. Alright, now let's click on Save and Send Test Request button. So as we have set up the connection between Typeform and the specific form with Pabbly Connect, so now when the form will be submitted, the response is going to be captured. It is showing waiting for webhook response over here. So let us do a test submission so that we can capture a response, and by using that response, we can further continue our workflow. To do that, now I'm going to take you towards my Typeform account and I will take you towards my form. So this is my form which I have recently connected with Pabbly Connect. So these are the fields I have in my form, as you can see: first name, last name, phone number and the email. So this is the registration form, and I'm going to use these details to enroll the person, enroll the student or client as registrants in LiveWebinar. For that, here the form is connected. So let's go towards share option, where we are going to find the shareable link of the form. So I'm going to copy the shareable link and I will open it in a new tab. So as the form is open in front of us with some dummy details, I'm going to submit this form quickly in front of you. And as I will do that, because the form is already connected with Pabbly Connect, so the response will automatically captured. Let's say the first name of the client who is submitting this registration form is Amazing, and let's say the last name is Client. Okay, Amazing Client is the name. Let's say the phone number of this client is this, and let's say the email is amazing522@pablitudes.com. These are the details. So now I'm going to submit the form. As soon as the form is submitted, so let's go back towards Pabbly Connect. For a few seconds, let's wait so that the response could be captured. And here the response is received. So in the response, we have received all the details. Let's start reading them one by one. So here we have received all the details in the response. Let's start reading them one by one. First of all, we have received the response token. Then we have received the date and time at which the form is submitted. And here we have the date and time at which the form is landed over here. Then we have the form ID, the thank you screen over here. We have some other details, the questions which we have asked. Then when we'll scroll down, here we have some other details such as the email address of the client, their phone number and their name as well. This means our connection between Typeform and Pabbly Connect is absolutely successful, and now every time the form will be submitted by the client, automatically the response is going to be captured inside Pabbly Connect. After this, now our objective is to create a registrant in LiveWebinar. For that, we have to build the connection between LiveWebinar and Pabbly Connect. To do that, let's go towards our action step. Let us select LiveWebinar as our action application. And now let us select the action event. So our action event will be to create a registrant. Let's select create webinar registrant, and now let's click on connect. For this, you can see that here we have again 2 options to build the connection between LiveWebinar and Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to go towards add new connection to build this connection and show you how to do that. If you already have an existing connection, you can just go with that. Now let's click on connect with LiveWebinar. You can see that I am already logged into my LiveWebinar account. So my account is detected easily. I'm going to click on authorize to provide the permission, and you can see that our authorization has become successful very easily. and the connection between LiveWebinar and Pabbly Connect is also built. So now we have to enter the details in these fields to create our registrant successfully. First of all, it is asking us webinar with enabled registration. So in which webinar you want to enroll the student. So here the name of my webinar is Mastering Personal Growth. I will select the same. Then we have the registration form ID, which is already selected according to the webinar. Now we have to enter the registrant name, email and other details. So let's start entering them one by one. First of all, let's start with the name. So as you know, we have received all the details of the registrant already in our earlier response. That means a client who has submitted the type form should be added as a registrant according to our objective in LiveWebinar. So we are going to use the same response which we have received. We have received the name over here of the, when we'll scroll down, you can see that here we have received the details, the name also, and here we want the name. So we have the first name. I have inserted it directly from the previous step, and now with the space, I'm going to insert the last name as well like this. So it has become a full name. When I have mapped this name like this from the previous step, it has become dynamic. That means with each and every new response, automatically it is going to replace. So now every time a new form will be submitted in Typeform, automatically the name is going to replace with the new name of that new response. And not only the name, but all the details which we are going to map will get replaced automatically, and in this way only we will automate the entire process of adding LiveWebinar registrants for Typeform submission. In case if we will enter the data manually by typing or by copy and pasting, then it will become static and then it is not going to replace. Therefore, mapping is very important. Now in the similar manner, let's map the email as well. It is asking us send confirmation to registrant's email, so I have selected no, and then here we are going to map the first name of the client and also the last name. Okay, then here we have the email. So once again, I'm going to map the email address because these fields are mandatory, so we have to enter them again. Let's click on save and send test request button now. And here the response is captured. In it, we have the data ID, that means the registrant ID and other details. So now I'm going to take you towards live webinar. This is the webinar in which we have registered the attendees. So I'm going to open it. We'll go towards the attendees, and here you can see, and here we can see that yes, amazing client is added as a registrant in our webinar. This means our connection between Typeform and LiveWebinar is absolutely successful, and now every time new entry will be made in Typeform, that means when a form will be submitted, then automatically the registrant will be added in LiveWebinar. Once we have set up the connection, let us check whether the workflow is running fine or not. For this, I will take you back towards Typeform. I'm going to once again copy the link of this form. I will open it in a new tab. And now I'm going to quickly submit the form in front of you so that once again the response could be captured, and according to that response, the registrant could be created. So let's say this time the name of the client is latest client. Let's say the number is, let's say the email is latestclient88@pabblytudes.com. Here I'm going to submit the form quickly, and as soon as you have submitted the form, now I'm going to take you towards live webinar. We will refresh the attendees section, and we can see that yes, latest client is recently and instantly added over here with the same email address. This means that yes, our workflow is running fine. So you can also very easily create this amazing automation to manage the registrations in your webinars automatically whenever the form will be submitted by the clients or students who are interested in your webinars. So I hope the automation is clear to you. Also, it is helpful for your business. Thank you for watching.
Not only these applications, but you can integrate multiple such amazing applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now, if you have any doubt, you can email us at support@pabbly.com. If you want to ask any doubt, you can write us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you want to ask about the pricing, you can visit this website given over here. Do not forget to share our videos, like our video, and also subscribe our channel for more such amazing automation.